Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're talking about My Hero Academia Season 7, Episode 8, and pretty solid episode overall. So we start off with the Doctor basically saying that All for One, had multiple people that he was trying out to be a successor, being of a worthy vessel, he calls them, being that, I think he's in the process of taking over Shigaraki's body, I think. And Dabi was one of those people. He found him all burnt up. All for One did, brought him back to this daycare center looking thing. Let's go ahead and go past the outro here. We have Dabi tearing up here, bursting into flames. He's like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Ends up falling into a lake, but as you can see, he is burnt to a crisp at this point. All for One finds him. Let's see if I can find the scene that shows All for One finding him. Might have to let it play out for a couple of seconds here. Yeah, there we go. So there's All for One in the background. So he ends up waking up in this kind of daycare looking thing with all of these children. And then he's like, oh, my voice. He was down for the count for 3 years. They did a lot of medical things on him. There's this guy, Mr. Sunshine. He was talking about, I got to go back to my parents. He was like, and then All for One is like, you can't really use your quirk anymore. Everything's very badly damaged. Your internal organs are kind of shot. We don't really know how long you are going to have to live. And this angered him a lot. He got very frustrated. He was like, I can't show my dad my power anymore. I don't really know what to do. But basically saying that his flames, his mentality had been set for so long at this point that All for One could not control him anymore. So Dabi was going to do his own thing. So Dabi became a failed project, essentially. And then he moved on. He was very surprised that Dabi was still alive. He had no idea how he was, because apparently Dabi was only supposed to live for like a month or two after he woke up, because his internals were just so badly damaged. But essentially, out of spite, he is living. He is forcing himself to go through the pain, the anger, everything else, and he is forcing himself to live until he kills his father. He even said, in one of the previous episodes last season, come to hell me, come to hell with me, Endeavor. So it's interesting to see that he is basically barely alive. He's kind of like a Nomu, except doesn't have the crazy health regenerative abilities. Which I was thinking, I was like, why, if he was going to be a vessel for him, why would you not just give him regenerative abilities? Because, yeah, his skin will burn up, but then he just heals instantly, so problem solved. So that was kind of interesting. He's, transforming as well. He said that he did go back to his home and saw that nothing had changed. That Endeavor was being extremely harsh on Todoroki. That he basically was useless, disposable, no point in doing anything. Meanwhile, he's burning hotter and hotter, burning up his entire body as well. And he basically just wanted to kill himself, kill his dad, and then that's going to be it. So the flames of death of a monomaniac that even the Demon Lord abandoned. Yeah, basically, he All for One is trying to live forever, and he is trying to die. So that's not going to happen. That's not gonna go the way he planned, if you will. I still really like Dabi's character design. It's just really, really cool. And then he spent years, watching his dad. His dad was filmed everywhere they did, being the number 2 hero. Every time he saved somebody or doing anything, trying to learn all of his moves, things along those lines. He even is able to use Endeavor's moves as well, shooting out flames all over the place. Hell Spider was a distraction to get behind him. However, we also learn that Shoto has been developing a move combining his heart with the ice and the fire, both sides of himself, in order to neutralize Dabi's flames, which is pretty cool. And he is just taking a beating here over and over and over again, because it takes time to build this up. Apparently, burning there, the one girl with the green hair, I believe her name is, said, it's a major energy waste. But he was able to extinguish the flames. He was like, stop killing people. He wants Dabi to stop killing people, come home, talk about it, get more level headed. Even though Dabi is going to die soon anyway, apparently. So it doesn't even matter, even if Dabi decides to kind of cool off, if you will. He's going to end up dead soon anyway. So that's is what it is. I feel like the second he gets rid of all of his spite and hatred, his organs, if that does become the case, his organs are just going to give up on him, and that's going to be all she wrote. Shoto even said, he basically even volunteered to do it because he was like, I'm the best to face him with this new move that I'm trying to develop. It's kind of a combination of hot and cold. It's not, it's not hot to the touch. You can actually touch it, as shown by somebody actually touching it, one of his classmates there. And he's like, basically he called them cold flames. So he was like, it's not trying to use one to cool off the other. It's combining them and using them as his own power, finally. So, Todoroki's getting some good character development, and he's got the Super Saiyan hair, I would kind of call it. That's definitely with how it's working there. He has blue flames himself, and then you see the giant cross on his heart, extinguishing all of Dabi's flames. Right here is when all of the sidekicks kind of take the brunt of that flame attack. They get hurt pretty bad. This is where she says, that's a massive waste of energy. And then he is like, it's not just Endeavor's problem. He was like, well, good. Maybe I'm the one that's going to resolve this, and Endeavor can have more of regrets. So I thought that was kind of funny, too. He was like, good, Endeavor doesn't get to do it. And then also, Endeavor, realistically, is the only one that has any chance of fighting and or possibly defeating All For One. I mean, we saw how hard it was for All Might to do it, and we know Endeavor is not really anywhere as strong as that. Very strong, but not as strong. So between him and Hawks, hopefully they can do their thing and win. At least that's the plan there. So we have one final encounter, talking about condensing your power and then either building it up or letting it explode. He puts a gut shot in Dabi, and that's going to be all she wrote. So I don't know how this is going to work, if Dabi is just going to die after this. But Dabi is essentially defeated here, based on the outro anyway. So I don't really think we're going to be seeing Dabi again. Either Dabi's going to end up dying or getting arrested or something. Who knows? Maybe they'll try to heal him. I guess theoretically they could use Eri to do the whole reverse time thing before he got burnt to a crisp. And maybe he could live a normal life. But obviously with the amount of people he's killed, very unlikely. So we see all this ice just all over the place. All the flames are extinguished, and there's your end shot right there. We'll probably, I may or may not use that as the thumbnail. I really don't know, because that is kind of a spoiler, but it is what it is. We'll see if I feel like using it. Going out to the outro, we have, as I said, it mentions that Dabi's defeated. They're like, yeah, cool, we have victory, and then we're showing a little bit of the fight of Todoroki, and then we are showing a fight against All For One. So I think next episode is going to be Hawks Endeavor versus All For One. That's the gist of what we're going to get. Next episode is called Extras. Let's go back here to that cool little end shot, if I can get to it. We'll find it. There it is. There's your nice little end shot right there. Maybe that will be the thumbnail. Who knows? Overall, I liked this episode. I wish there was a little bit more fighting. I feel like it kind of went a little fast, which is probably why I'm going to dock it a little bit. So we'll give this an 8 out of 10. This is something that would definitely be worth a rewatch. I'm sure there's a couple of things that I missed on the first watch of it. But overall, excellent episode. Todoroki gets his resolution, Dabi is defeated, and that arc, I'm assuming, is wrapped up at this point. I doubt, as I said, after this, we're probably not going to see Dabi anymore, which kind of sucks because he was a really cool character. But, look at his body. He's literally burning the cheeks off of his face. Every inch of him is just burnt to a crisp again. And I don't really see him coming back from that. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think we're just going to move on with the storyline, and maybe we're in the final arc. I really don't know if we're in the final arc in terms of the anime. Wouldn't surprise me, but maybe this is where it all ends. I don't think this is the last season. I'm going to definitely have to look into that, but we're only 8 episodes deep out of 24. But if everybody gets defeated at the end of this, then, that's all she wrote. We're done, and and then that's it. I know there's another movie coming out. I think the fourth movie's coming out. I think I've only watched one of the movies so far, or maybe two. But yeah, this might be the final season. I'm definitely going to have to look into that, and I will report back to you on it with the episode 9 review next week. Until then, stay tuned tomorrow for the Demon Slayer review. Hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. And as always, have a good one.